Okay, so yeah, Claire, just literally run us through perhaps a little bit about what it was you wanted to get from the program when you started. Obviously, you know you signed up with everybody else. I put out there basically a little outline of what we were going to do. So perhaps you could just quickly run through what it was that appealed to you.
Basically, it was the timing, because it was just before Christmas, and I don't like Christmas, so it's hopefully a good lead into Christmas for me.
Yeah.
Nutrition-wise, I was in the pits and I was not doing really good, so it's basically reevaluated my whole nutrition plan, and that's what I needed.
Okay, cool. What would you say, like when we say, like, obviously if we look at your mindset around nutrition, where were you before? You know, do you mind maybe just sharing with us like some of the things that you perhaps tried before?
Basically the stage I was at was not eating at all during the day, and then binge eating every evening.
Okay.
And that's where I was at. My mind was really low. I was in not a good place, and food has always been a bad place for me.
Okay, so I mean, obviously, initially, what we did was just to literally start taking some of the stresses out and introducing some other strategies to help support what you were doing. How did you find that initial phase? Was that hard for you?
No, I totally grasped it 100%.
Okay.
It wasn't hard. Taking out some of the rubbish in the diet was easy, because I knew it had to come out.
Yeah.
So I was really happy. It was really interesting doing supplements. Never done that before in my life. So that was really good, and I think they're working massively.
Yeah.
I believe in them. But that first week was really an inspiration, really, because I had someone telling me what to do, so I knew it was right.
And what was it that what was the sort of first thing then that you noticed as a result of making those small changes? The first sort of positive, or
Okay, so the first within a couple of days, I realised I wasn't hungry all the time, because I'd had breakfast, because I'd had lunch and dinner. I wasn't like hitting a real sugar low and getting really irritable. I just wasn't hungry.
Okay. What would you say then was obviously those first few days? What was the hardest thing?
Spending the money.
Okay.
Eating meat, because I don't eat meat.
Wow.
So eating meat was quite a challenge.
Yeah.
I don't think I found too much too hard, because I was really ready to go for it.
Okay. What made you ready then, Claire? Because like a lot of people do seem like we all kind of try to wait maybe for the best time to do something. What made this then, if you like, the best time for you, or what made you ready this time?
I've spent 2 years telling my friends I'm going on a diet, I'm going to lose weight, and it not only got boring for them, but it got massively boring for me. And I just saw this as my last chance. I had to do it this time. This time, it was like this had to be all or nothing. I also have two friends, as you know, Nikki and Mike, doing it. I saw their successes in 4 weeks, and I wanted to be part of that so much.
Yeah, they've done really well as well, haven't they? But yeah, I mean, for you then, Claire, like perhaps coming from a place where you've been doing. It's hard to probably describe the way you ate before, but if we say binge eating in the evening kind of encapsulates what you were doing, what would you say was the like kind of the bit that made you kind of realise that wasn't the right thing to do? Like at what point did you get to?
I knew that wasn't the right thing to do when I was highly embarrassed and could never admit to anybody the type of foods and when I was eating.
Right, okay. So
it was literally it become a secret habit.
Right, it was a denial thing really then. So you were literally denying that you'd been doing it to other people, so you realised that actually this was not the right thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And now, I'm happily in front of people eating food and everything, whereas before it was just hide it.
Right, okay, cool. And this is 3 weeks, so yeah, it's great. What would you like? Obviously, the weight management program is moving into what I would call its second phase now, because we've done sort of the preparation week where we as you know, we just sort of started to tweak things, started to take a few things out, add a few things in. Then I gave you 3 weeks of literally step-by-step meal plans that told you exactly what to do. Moving into the second phase now, we're going to start to, maybe we're going to stick with the same principles in terms of the nutrition, and we're going to start adding some exercise. In this last week, obviously, you've done a couple of sessions. How have you found? Did you feel better prepared to do the exercise having done the nutrition first, or how do you feel about starting the nutrition a little bit earlier than the exercise?
Okay, I've always trained, so I've always done some rowing or running or whatever.
Yeah.
I actually tried to do your way and come away from the exercise and really focus on nutrition first.
Yeah.
And that has really focused my mind. So I feel like my body is now ready.
Yeah.
And it's not overly stressed. It's now ready to exercise. I think if I tried to do exercise and the nutrition, I think I could have failed.
To start with, right? So now you feel like you're ready to do the exercise. I mean,
I'm now like here waiting and enjoying the exercise and was ready for it.
Yeah.
Any earlier in it, I don't think it'd work.
Yeah. That I think that's one of the things that I really wanted to get from the first 3 feet. I know that some people may be getting like itchy feet because they're worried about maybe not training to start with, but this is what I wanted to do, something a little bit differently this time. I've done exercise and nutrition right from the start, and it does work for some people, but they've got to be in the right place to start with. And what I wanted to do with this program was to try and reduce stress before we add any more. Okay, and so I hope.
Yeah, sorry. I think because my body had gone through so many changes where I was now eating properly. I think I needed my head to get around that. Yeah. And then I was sort of like itching to start training 2 or 3 weeks after, so it's perfect timing.
Brilliant. Okay, cool. Because obviously, this kind of feedback's great because this is, when I run this program again, then I'm kind of maybe going to make a version 2, if you like, and everything that you're sort of saying here, if I can tweak it, make it, improve it for next time.
I'm a person who's trained all my life, some way or another, and yet I felt that 2, maybe 3 weeks of sitting back and thinking purely about nutrition was massively beneficial.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. That's really interesting. So I'm not going to keep you too much longer, but would you mind sharing with every other people going to see this? Would you mind sharing with them, perhaps week by week, how things have gone for you in terms of your results? Because whilst this is, I'm really happy that you've become educated around nutrition. I'm giving you lots of input. Bottom line is the inspiration which comes from within is going to come from results as well. So, whilst you're enjoying the experience, obviously I want you to get results as well, and the two go hand in hand. So, how have you done so far?
It's now it's coming up to 4 weeks with 1 preparation week first, and 3 weeks on the plan.
Yeah.
I've lost 19 pounds.
Right.
I've lost loads of centimetres off my waist and my bum.
Right.
I can every item of clothing I own, I fit into.
Right.
The white dress that I've got, I don't quite fit into yet, but I reckon I will soon.
Hey, we've still got 3 weeks until we
And I just feel amazing. I'm sleeping, which I've spent 5 years hardly sleeping, insomnia massively, and yet I think I've slept every night on this program properly. And it's just amazing. It's an entire change in my mental health and my physical health.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So like you say, I mean, I asked you for the results, etc., but some of those things you can't really measure, can you? So that the sort of impact that having better sleep and everything else is going to have on your life, aside from losing 19 pounds, which by the way is phenomenal, and but at some point. This is kind of one of the reasons I want to try and help people with the weight management program, empower them to make decisions long after the end of the 6-week program that they can use for the rest of their life. And one of the underlying principles of this weight management program is that we don't get obsessed by weighing and measuring. We just do it I've actually allowed you to do it once a week so far, but no more than that, because at some stage lose, like we won't carry on losing weight in inches. We just, until once we get to that healthy place, then there's no reason perhaps for us to keep losing inches. It's a healthy body won't necessarily store excess body fat. So once we get to that place, then that goal then becomes a little bit boring. So there's got to be some other reason why you want it, and obviously and another focus rather than just focusing on the scales, because the scales are only really a number. How you feel and how you feel about the way you look is going to be with you forever, and you're going to wake up, you're going to see that person in the mirror rather than the numbers on the scales, right?
Yeah, totally. I think also it's just like having a bit more self-confidence. When you're feeling fat and that makes you lower, and you lack the loads of self-confidence. But when you're feeling good about yourself, it's amazing. You can go anywhere and do anything. It's everything's more achievable. Yeah. And that's where I am at the moment, definitely. I feel like I'm ready to attack stuff and do stuff I want to do.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's, I think I think for a lot of people, they get stuck, don't they, being sort of maybe sick and tired, and that's perhaps all that they know. And I think until like you did, like you made that decision to change, and everyone's got their own reasons. For you, it was about feeling guilty and being in denial that the fact that you've been telling your friends for 2 years that you were going to be doing something about it, and deep down you weren't. So I think it's nice that you now feel empowered to make those decisions as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the biggest difference for me is more self-confidence, sleeping properly, and just feeling happier about everything.
Yeah.